Hello everyone, welcome back to the next session of data visualization with R. In the last session we have seen data visualization using ggplot2 package. Am I right? Yeah. Now in this session we are going to start with more data visualization tools in R programming. Okay. So now let me show you what you are going to learn in this session. Okay. So see here. More data visualization tool in which we are going to first of all study text mining and word cloud. What is a text mining and word cloud? And then we will study radar chart and then waveform chart, area chart, and finally correlogram. Okay. So yeah, so let's start with the first thing, that is text mining and word cloud. Okay. Text mining method allow us to highlight the most frequently used keywords in a paragraph of a text. Got it? What is meant by text mining? Text mining method allow us to highlight the most frequently used keywords in a paragraph of the text. Okay. One can create a word cloud, also referred as text cloud or tag cloud, which is a visual representation of text data. What is word cloud? Word cloud is also known as text cloud or tag cloud. And word cloud is nothing but it is a visual representation of text data. And what is a text mining? Yeah, text mining is a method to highlight the most frequently used keywords present in a paragraph of the text. Okay. The procedure of creating the word cloud is very simple in R programming if you know the different steps to execute. Yeah. The text mining package TM. Okay, text mining package TM and the word cloud generator package word cloud are available in R for helping us to analyze the text and to quickly visualize the keyword as a word cloud. Got it? So I hope you understand now what is mean by text mining and what is a word cloud. Yes, text mining is a method that allows us to highlight the most frequently used keywords in a paragraph of a text. And word cloud is also known as text cloud or tag cloud, which is nothing but it is a visual representation of text data. Okay. And there is a package that we are going to use, that is text mining package TM. Okay. And another package that is for a word cloud generator package, that is word cloud. Okay. We are going to use, okay, these two packages. Okay. For this text mining and word cloud. Okay. So with the help of these packages, obviously we can create a word cloud. Okay. And also it may be required that we need to install some more packages. Okay. That we are going to see when we start with the RStudio. Okay. But currently just remember what is text mining and what is word cloud. For a text mining, we are going to use TM package, and for a word cloud, we are going to use word cloud package. So I hope you know that how to install the package, how to load the package. Got it? Yeah. Now let's see the next thing. Three reasons you should use word clouds to present your text data. Okay. If you're thinking why there is a need to learn, why there is a importance of word cloud, or why you should learn this. Okay. What is the important or what is the benefit you can get if you are using word cloud? So see here, there are three reasons you should use word cloud to present your text data. So first reason is word clouds add simplicity and clarity. Okay. The most used keywords stand out better in a word cloud. The most frequent keywords stand out better in a word cloud. Okay. Now next reason is word clouds are potent communication tool. Okay. They are easy to understand, to be shared, and are impactful. Okay. Word clouds are visually engaging than a table data. Okay. So these are three reasons that you should use word cloud to represent your text data. Okay, we are talking about text data, not the numeric data. Okay, so it is important. If you would like to represent the text data, then there are some reason you should use the word cloud. Okay, so that three is the reason you can see on this slide. Yes, got it. And remember, word cloud means visual representation of your text data. Okay, it is not the representation of your numeric data. Okay, got it. Now, who is using word cloud? If you think that, okay, you have understand the reason to learn, okay, or to use the word cloud. Now, who is using the word cloud? Okay, the first one is researchers. Researchers are using word cloud for reporting the qualitative data. Okay, and then marketers for highlighting the need and pain point of the customer. Marketers are using word cloud for highlighting the needs and pain point of the customer. Okay, next one is educators. Educators are using word cloud to support the essential issues. Okay, politician and generalist. Okay, social media sites, for example, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, they are also using word cloud to collect, analyze, and share user sentiments. Got it? So who is using the word cloud? Researchers are using word cloud, marketers are using word cloud. Yeah. Educators are using word cloud to support the essential issues, politicians and journalists, social media sites. Yeah. Got it? So I hope you understand what is a text mining and word cloud, why you should use the word cloud, and who is using the word cloud. So who is using it? Researcher, marketer, educators, politician and generalist, social media site, all they are using word cloud. Okay. Now let's see the next point. What are the steps to create a word clouds? Okay. So as we are thinking that it's very important to learn word cloud, it's very important nowadays to use the word cloud to visualize the text data. Yeah. Now, obviously, there should be steps to create a word cloud successfully. Now, I will show you what are the steps required to create a word cloud. Okay. So see here, the first step, create a text file. Okay. Copy and paste the text in a plain text file. Okay. For example, the file we are using here is word underscore cloud.txt file and save the file. Okay. Copy and paste the text in a plain text file. Now, if you're thinking, what is the text? Let me show you that text. So see here, this is my word cloud.txt file. See here, it contains a lot of data. Yeah, lot of words are there. Yes. Now, if you think that how can you use it? So for your reference, what I will do, I will share you this document. Okay, so that you can download this file. Okay, even though I will also show you, even if you don't have this file in your system, then we are going to download this file with the help of internet using, I hope you remember how can you use download.file method. Yes. Yeah. And also we are going to see how can you directly read this data from the internet. Okay. We are going to see the method. How can you directly read all this data from the internet? How can you store it in a variable or in a file? Okay. So don't worry. Even if you don't have this file, no problem. Okay. And if you want to have this file, I will share you. Okay. So this is the data, okay, of this file. The name of this file is word underscore cloud.txt. Got it? Now the first step is, so first thing is create a text file. So let's suppose if you have the text file, okay. Next thing is, what is the second step? See here. Install and load the required package. That is most important thing. Okay. Type the R code below to install and load the required package. Okay, so see here, some important package that we required for creating a word cloud successfully is, first one is install.packages TM. So this means we are installing TM package. So TM is for text mining. Okay, and then install.package is snowballs. What is this? It is for text stemming. Okay, and then third package we are installing is word cloud. okay, for generating a word cloud. And finally, the fourth package we're installing here is R color brewer for color palette. Okay, R color brewer, that is for color palettes. Got it? Now, if you're thinking what is this text streaming, word cloud generate text mining, and there's color plate. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, I'm going to explain you all these things in this session only. Okay, currently we know TM and word cloud package for text mining. I hope you know that because we have seen what is the text mining and word cloud. Okay, so see here, text streaming. See here, what is this text streaming? Okay, Snowball. See, this package we are installing for text streaming, and our color beaver we are installing. Okay, and that is nothing but color palettes. Okay, so what I will do, I will explain this thing. What is text streaming? By the way, do you know this text streaming? Do you know this? If you don't know, so don't worry. In this session only, I will explain you. But currently, what do you do? Just install all these packages. TM for text mining, Snowball C for text streaming, word cloud for generating the word cloud, and finally R color beaver for color palette. So we need to install 4 packages, and then obviously once we install it successfully, we need to load it with the help of library method. See here. Got it? Now let me show you all these things in RStudio. So let me open the RStudio. So here, see here, the next second step. Okay, by the way, in my system, I already have installed all these packages. So what I will do, I will just load it. So I will execute line number 7, line number loading required package NLP. Okay, wait a second. Okay, just a second. What you need to do here? So I will execute now. So see here, this line has executed. Now line number 8, it is executed successfully. Line number 9. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, it is also executed. It's a warning message, so don't get confused. And then if I execute line number 10, yeah, you can see that it is also executed successfully. Even if you think, if I use double quotation, is it going to give me the error? Okay, now let me show you. If I write double quotation inside a TM, okay, if I write this package name inside a double quotation, so what happened? Let me again execute line number 7. Yeah, is it executed successfully? Yeah. So even if you want to include the package name inside double quotation, it's your choice. And without double quotation, it also work. Okay. Now let's see. So first step we have seen saving the data in a text file. And then next thing is we have seen installing the packages, TM package, Snowball C package, word cloud package, and R color brewer package, and then loading it so that we can use it. Now let's see the third step. Third step is very important here. Third step is text mining. Okay, so I hope you understand what is a text mining. Yeah, what is a text mining? Text mining is a method, yeah, that will highlight the most frequently used keywords available in our paragraph of text file. Yeah. Yes, so don't get confused. See here. If you want to see the definition of this text mining, see here. Text mining is a method that allow us to highlight the most frequently used keyword in a paragraph of text. Got it? Now let's see. The third step is, first step is creating the text file. Next is second step is installing the required packages. Okay, now let's see the third step, that is text mining. Inside this third step, first of all, we need to load the text. Okay, the text is loaded using corpus function from text mining package. Okay, the text is loaded using corpus function from text mining package. Corpus is the list of a document. What is this corpus? It is the list of the document. In our case, we only have one document. What is the name of that document? Yeah, what underscore cloud.txt. Yes. Now next thing is we start by importing the text file created in step 1. We start by importing the text file created in step 1. In our step 1 we have created one text file, you remember? So we need to import it. Now to import the file saved locally in your computer, so you remember that I have shown you that what underscore cloud.txt file which is saved locally in my computer in a current working directory of R. So to import that file, I need to type the following code. Okay, once you execute this code, you will be asked to choose the file. Okay, you need to, once you execute this file, you will be asked to choose the file interactively. So what is this code? Read line file dot choose then text. Okay. Now next thing is, if you want to read a data of a text file, txt file from the internet, let's suppose if you don't have that file. Okay, if you want to read a data from the txt file from the internet, then and load it as a corpus, then you need to do it as follows. Okay, how can you do it? So it's very easy. So you just need to write the variable name, suppose file path. Okay, and what you are assigning here, you are assigning one link of txt file. So see here, this is the link of the txt file that contain a various word. Okay, and I am assigning all the data which is present inside this link, okay, to file path. Okay, and finally with the help of read line function, I can read all the data of this file path, and then the result of this I can assign to a variable text. Got it? So once I have the text, or let's suppose if you want to read the data from the txt file that you have in your system. Okay, so you can read it easily with the help of readline function. Am I right? Yeah. So with the help of readline function, you can read it. Yeah. Next thing is, once you read it, you can assign it to a variable, for example, text here. Then next thing is load the data as a corpus. Load the data as a corpus. So how can you load the data? See here, corpus is a function. Inside that, you need to write vector source and then text. So what is this text? This one. This text is nothing but that variable, or you can say this is going to contain all the paragraph or all the words, okay, which is present inside the file. Okay, and we are using corpus function inside that. What we need to write? Vector source and then supply the name of this one, text, and the result of this one we are assigning to a docs. Okay, so what is this vector source x? See here, in this we have used vector source x, and then inside that we supply the text. Okay, text variable. So what is this vector source? Suppose if it is x. So takes this vector source function takes a grouping of a text and makes each element of the resulting vector a document within your R workspace. What does it doing? Yeah, vector source x, what does it doing? Takes a group of the text. Okay. So in our code, we are supplying vector source. Inside that we have written text. Okay. So obviously it is taking a group of the text and makes each element of the resulting vector a document within your R workspace. Okay. There are many types of sources, but vector source is made for working with character object in R. Okay. Since we have text file that contain all the character objects, hence we are using vector source. Got it? So once you execute it, then once you execute this file, which one? Once you used corpus function, inside there introduce vector source. So I hope you understand what is the role of vector source. Okay. Then the result of this you are assigning to a variable docx, docx, and then you can inspect the content of the document with the help of inspect function, and then supply the name of the variable docs. Now let me execute all this code so that you will understand in a better way. But remember, vector source takes a group of the text, okay, and make each element of the resulting vector a document within your R workspace. Okay, and what is this? Corpus function. Okay, corpus is a list of documents. So the text is loaded from corpus function from text mining package. Corpus is a list of the document. In our case, we are using only one document. Okay. So let's start. Let me show you again the code. Okay, yeah. So see here, we install the package, we load the package. Now let's see the third step. Now, as I told you that if you want to choose a file which is saved in our system, so you need to execute this line. Okay. So to import the file saved locally in our computer, you need to execute this file. Now let me execute this one, line number 13. Focus carefully. Can you see that it is asking me to load the file? Yes. And then I can load this file, word underscore cloud, this file. Yeah. Yes. Can you see this one? Once I load it, it is all the data of this one. It is going to be assigned to a variable text. Got it? Now, let's suppose if you don't have this file, how can you read all the data of this text file from the internet? So we have seen that it's very easy. You just need to specify the link here. Can you see this link? Okay. Inside a double quotation. Okay. And then you need to assign it to a variable file path. Okay. So all the data of the text file, it is now stored in this one file path. How can you read it? With the help of readline function. You can read this one, all the data file path. So you need to supply the name of this one file path, and the result of this one is again you are storing inside a variable text. So let me execute line number 15. Okay, so wait here. The execution has started. Okay, so wait for a few seconds. You can see this symbol if you want to stop it from here. Yeah, sometime it will take a time, so then don't worry. Okay. By the way, in my case, like in my system, I already have this text file. This file path also I have, this text file is also I have. So as it taking more time, so I will stop it. Okay, from here. And then I will execute line number 17 directly. So wait a second. It's again. No. Okay, let me. Okay, till the time it will get loaded. Okay, it will get executed. Let's learn the next thing. Okay, so what after that, what is going to happen? The data, the result of this one is going to be assigned to a text file. Okay, now next thing is if you want to read word underscore cloud file, okay, saved locally in a current working directory. How can you read it? With the help of read.table. And then you need to specify the name of the file, and the result is stored in WC, and then you can see the data of WC. Okay. After that, what is this? Corpus function. Yeah. Corpus function is present inside a C here. The text is loaded using corpus function from text mining package. So in order to load the text, we are using corpus function from text mining package. And corpus is a list of the documents. Okay. In our case, we are using only one document. Hence, we use this one text, the result of this one. Okay. This one. And then we are assigning it to a variable. This one, docx, docs, you can say. Once we assign it, with the help of inspect function, we can inspect the data. Okay. We can load the data as a corpus, and then we can inspect the content of the document with the help of inspect function. Okay. Now let me show you next thing. Yeah. So once you done till inspect function, which allow us to do the which inspect the content of the document. Okay. Now let's see the next thing. Text transformation. Okay, that is again comes under the text mining step. So what is this text transformation? Transformation is performed using tm underscore map function to replace, for example, special character from the text. So let's suppose if you want to replace backward slash, forward slash, at the rate, okay, and some other symbol with space, how can you replace it? So we have the function tm underscore map, okay, to replace such a special character. Okay. So for this, what we are using here, the first thing, if you consider here, content underscore transformer. What we are using? Content underscore transformer function. Inside that, again, we are using function x comma pattern. And then gsub pattern comma double quotation comma x. Okay. So what is this? See here. What is this content underscore transformer? fun function. Okay. So fun is a function with two arguments. fun is a function with two arguments. Okay. Now let's suppose if here in our case it is a x. Can you see this one x? Okay. So what is this x? An R object with implemented content getter, content, and setter content function, and second argument passed over to a function. Second argument passed over to a function. Okay. And then what is this tm underscore map function is used to remove the unnecessary white space to convert the text to lowercase. And then to remove the common stop words like the, we, okay. The information values of stop word is near zero due to the fact they are so common in the language. Removing this kind of word is useful before further analysis. What is this stop word? The, we, you, okay, in, are. You can say that all these are the stop words. Okay. So with the help of tm underscore map function, okay, you can remove unnecessary white space and to convert the text to a lowercase to remove the common stop words like the, we, okay. See here. Don't get confused here. How we are using the code, focus here. Okay. So see there docs. Okay. Now two space comma. Okay. See here. What is this? Content transformer function with the two argument and R object with implemented content getter and setter. It is having content getter and setter functions. And second argument passed over to a function. Passed over to a function. Okay. So in this way, you need to write the code. Okay. So tm underscore map docs two space comma this one two space. This means you are replacing slash by a space, at the rate by a space. Okay. This one by a space. Okay. Got it? So what is this? We are passing docs. So what is this docs? Docs is nothing but this variable. Which variable? Corpus of vector source of text. Can you see this one? Okay. Now let me show you this code in RStudio so that you will get better understanding of it. Oh, what happened? Why it is taking more time? Okay, I think it is taking more time. Let me check it. But till now, you just understand the steps for creating the workload. So what is the steps? First one, the first step we have seen. Okay, what is that first step? Yeah, creating the txt file. Next step we have seen installing the required packages and loading it. Third step we have seen text mining. The first step inside that we have seen how to load the text. Okay. from the local system, okay, from our computer, or even if you want to read the data from the internet, how can you read it? Okay, yeah. And then how can you load the data as a corpus function? Okay, as a corpus. And what is the corpus? Corpus, what is the corpus? Yeah, tell me, what is a corpus? Corpus is a function, okay. The text is loaded using corpus function from the text mining package. Corpus is a list of document. In our case, we only have one document. Obviously, we are using only one document, that is word callout. So it is a function which is useful for loading, text loading. Okay. And what is this? Vector source. Inside a corpus function, we have vector source function. So vector source function takes the grouping of the text and make each of the resulting vector a document within your worker space. Got it? And once we have this one, we can inspect the content of the document with the help of function inspect docs. Got it? What I will do, I will continue with this session, okay, with the next thing, that is text transformation, and then the text using this content underscore transformer, and few more things in the next session. Okay, so I hope you understand whatever I explain you till now. Okay, yeah.